The tennis world is in absolute chaos right now, and it's not because of a three-set thriller or a controversial line call. It's because Alexandra Eala refuses to do what the WTA media machine expects: panic and fire her coach. In an era where one bad afternoon equals a pink slip, Eala is committing the ultimate rebellion: loyalty. While insiders flood social media demanding she hire a celebrity supercoach, she's standing firm with Bosch. And somehow, that's become controversial. Let's be honest about the modern Women's Tennis Association ecosystem. A second-round exit at a major? Fire the coach. Forehand misfiring for a week? Fire the coach.
Confidence dips for a month?
Time for a dramatic split and a glossy announcement post. The revolving door never stops spinning. The media loves it. Big names create big headlines. Shuffle between Patrick Mouratoglou, Brad Gilbert, or Sasha Bajin, and suddenly it feels like progress even when nothing fundamentally changes.
It's tennis theater.
A high-profile swap gives the illusion of evolution, as if a famous face in the player's box can magically repair a fragile second serve or silence mid-match doubt. But here's the uncomfortable truth: development isn't glamorous.
It's slow.
It's repetitive. It's built on trust forged over years, not press conferences. Just 20 years old, Eala isn't playing the carousel game. She's betting on continuity over chaos. In a sport addicted to quick fixes and headline moves, that might be the boldest strategy of all. And then there's Alexandra Eala, the young star with a roaring global fanbase, a rapidly climbing ranking, and endorsement deals that would make seasoned veterans stare in disbelief. The tennis establishment looks at her rise and seems genuinely confused. Because in their minds, this is the moment she's supposed to upgrade.
New status. New money.
New celebrity coach. But she hasn't. And that's what's breaking their brains. Today's version of the Women's Tennis Association superstardom comes with a script. If you're winning, you align yourself with a coach who has Grand Slam trophies in their resume. If you lose, you make a dramatic switch and sell it as the next chapter. It's branding.
It's optics.
It's theater. So when rumors started swirling that Eala had supposedly turned down massive seven-figure offers from elite, high-profile coaches, the gossip machine went into overdrive. How could she possibly say no? Doesn't she understand how the game is played? Yes. She does. She just refuses to play that version of it. Understand why? You have to rewind the clock back before the endorsements, before the center courts, before the global spotlight. When Eala was just 13 years old, she left the Philippines and moved to Spain to train at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. That's not a glamorous decision. That's terrifying. A teenager, separated from her family, dropped into one of the most demanding training environments in the sport. And standing on the other side of the net back then was Bosch. He isn't some consultant who showed up after the ranking points did. He isn't a celebrity parachuting in for a polished press release. He is one of the fundamental architects of her entire game. Through 5-hour training days, brutal early morning fitness sessions, academic pressure, homesickness, and the emotional strain of growing up far from home, Bosch was there.
Before the Nike deals. Before the cameras.
Before the expectations of an entire nation. Professional tennis is brutally lonely. When you step onto a court, there are no substitutions. No timeouts to regroup with teammates. No one to absorb the pressure for you. If you're down 2-5 in a deciding set and your lungs feel like they're collapsing, your only connection to stability is a glance at the player's box. Trust in that moment is everything. When Eala looks up, she doesn't see a brand name. She sees someone who knows exactly where her mental breaking point lives because he helped her push beyond it years ago. That kind of psychological intimacy can't be bought with a 7-figure contract. It's built slowly, painfully, over time. And then there's the tactical argument, the critics claiming Bosch lacks the resume to take her to the next level. But what exactly are we watching? Eala's entire identity on court is rooted in the Spanish clay court philosophy she absorbed in Mallorca.
Heavy, punishing topspin.
Long, constructed rallies built like chess matches.
Relentless depth. A refusal to donate free points. That's not accidental.
That's system training. We've watched her push elite players like Jessica Pegula to the edge. We've seen seasoned veterans leave matches physically drained, ground down by her left-handed patterns and point construction. That foundation didn't materialize out of thin air. It was built intentionally to maximize her physical tools, especially as a lefty who can drag opponents into uncomfortable patterns, so why dismantle the architect of a structure that's clearly working? Celebrity coaches often arrive with their own agendas.
A grip tweak here. A service toss adjustment there.
Not always because it's necessary, but because influence must be visible. Because when a player wins, credit is currency. Eala doesn't need to be dismantled and rebuilt for someone else's resume. She needs continuity. And that may be the most mature decision she's made yet. Consider the pressure she's under. She carries the expectations of a tennis-hungry nation. Every tournament comes with headlines demanding Grand Slam breakthroughs yesterday. For a 20-year-old, it would be incredibly easy to let ego or panic creep in. To blame a tough loss on coaching. To hire a famous name to satisfy sponsors and quiet critics. But her foundation was built long before the spotlight on public courts back in the Philippines, guided by family lessons that emphasized loyalty, patience, and gratitude. Those values don't disappear when ranking points arrive. The tennis world might not understand why she isn't chasing headlines.
But maybe that's the point.
In a sport addicted to dramatic splits and flashy hires, Eala's refusal to panic isn't naive, it's strategic. Because while others search for magic pills and quick fixes, she's doubling down on trust, the rarest currency in professional tennis. And if her trajectory continues the way it has, the same voices calling her stubborn today may soon call her visionary. What most people don't understand about Alexandra Eala and Joan Bosch isn't tactical. It's psychological. Bosch understands the cultural weight she carries. He understands the family dynamics. He understands what it means for a young Filipina to step onto the global stage with an entire nation projecting hope onto her shoulders. That's not something you plug into a spreadsheet. That's not something you download after signing a 7-figure contract. He protects her from the circus. If she fired him right now, it wouldn't just be a coaching change. It would be a disruption to her mental ecosystem. Imagine trying to build brand new communication chemistry with a stranger while navigating the most pressure-packed stretch of your career.
Grand Slam spotlight. Global expectations. Media noise.
That's not a tweak, that's turbulence. The reason she looks composed when her back is against the wall isn't accidental.
It's structural. Her camp is stable. No drama.
No competing egos whispering conflicting advice. No paranoia about job security in the player's box.
Just work. Discipline. Repetition.
And trust between a player and the coach who has been there since the beginning. Yet the so-called experts keep chanting the same phrase: she needs to take it to the next level, as if the next level is a physical location. As if you unlock it by paying someone $500,000 a year to wear your sponsor's logo courtside. History says otherwise. Look at Rafael Nadal. Look at the long-term partnerships that built dynasties, not just hot streaks. Stability is not boring, it's strategic. The players who stay at the top for a decade usually have a foundation rooted in continuity. The chaos cycle, constant coaching changes, grip alterations, service motion experiments often leads to stalled growth and lost identity. That revolving door culture has become normalized within the Women's Tennis Association. A player hits a rough patch and suddenly it's time for a dramatic split. A new voice arrives. The headlines celebrate fresh energy. 6 months later, another dip in form, another reset.
The rhythm is gone.
The natural instincts get buried under layers of adjustments. Eala is avoiding that trap. While others chase the new coach smell, she's choosing continuity over chaos. She's looking at the spectacle and opting to stay in the library, studying, grinding, refining. People keep circulating that alleged $1 million offer from a celebrity coach. And even if it's true, why is that supposed to be shocking? Because in a world where everyone cashes out the first chance they get, she didn't. A super coach isn't stepping onto the court at 30-40 in the third set. They're not the one who wakes up before dawn to monitor recovery sessions. They're not the one who lived through the 5-hour academy days at the Rafa Nadal Academy where repetition wasn't optional and emotional resilience was forged daily. Bosch isn't just a consultant. He's woven into her athletic DNA. And you don't perform surgery on your DNA when you're trending upward. The media's confusion says more about its own priorities than about her strategy.
They want the storyline. She wants the result.
They want the spectacle of a high-profile breakup. She wants peace of mind, the kind that lets you swing freely on breakpoint down. Let's dismantle the supercoach myth for a moment. Many of these big names are elite professionals, yes. But they are also career travelers. They know how to give a compelling press conference. They know how to repackage familiar concepts with new vocabulary. They step in, identify a few visible adjustments, and position themselves to claim transformation credit if success follows. When the inevitable dip in form arrives, because every athlete experiences one, they move on.
Another rising star. Another project. Another percentage. It becomes cyclical. Bosch operates differently. He isn't invested in the percentage. He's invested in the person. He saw her long before the endorsement deals. He saw her homesick. He saw her frustrated. He saw her raw. That loyalty isn't sentimental, it's tactical. It creates security. And security breeds fearlessness. When Eala steps onto a court, she isn't wondering if her coach is quietly networking for his next opportunity. She isn't worried that 3 early exits will cost someone their job. That mental clarity allows her to swing aggressively, to commit fully, to absorb losses without panic. For fans concerned about stagnation, look at the trajectory. She's getting physically stronger. Her endurance against power players has improved. Her left-handed patterns are sharper. Her decision-making under pressure is more measured. The growth isn't explosive, it's sustainable. That matters. Tennis careers aren't built on emotional spikes. They're built on layered progress. Changing coaches mid-ascent would be like swapping engines mid-flight because someone suggested a different oil might add 1 mile per hour. It's reckless. It risks destabilizing everything that's already functioning. And perhaps that's why her approach feels so rare. She isn't rejecting change because she fears evolution. She's rejecting chaos because she understands timing. There's a difference. She's also seen what happens to prodigies who burn bright without a foundation. They surge. They headline. They fade. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack stability. Every loss triggers reinvention. Every setback invites external voices to rewrite the blueprint. Eala already has a blueprint. And she trusts the architect. The narrative that she needs a big name is convenient. If she wins a Grand Slam with Bosch, it validates continuity, patience, academy development. If she wins with a celebrity coach, the headlines credit transformation. Look what he unlocked. They'll say that she's too perceptive not to see that dynamic. She knows who built the engine. She knows who was there during the long, anonymous grind before anyone outside the tennis bubble cared. Loyalty in this context isn't weakness. It's leverage. That's what makes her intimidating. Opponents don't just face her heavy topspin and lefty angles. They face an athlete whose mental infrastructure is stable. An athlete not rattled by outside noise. An athlete who refuses to be manipulated by trending narratives. In a sport obsessed with reinvention, she's doubling down on refinement. When historians eventually analyze this era, the carousel of coaching changes, the technical overhauls, the talented players who plateaued amid constant resets, there will likely be a handful of outliers who resisted the cycle. Eala has positioned herself to be one of them. The shock isn't that she won't fire her coach. The shock is that people are surprised by her integrity. It reveals how normalized instability has become. While insiders speculate and headlines exaggerate, she and Bosch are likely on a quiet practice court somewhere. Repeating patterns. Tightening footwork. Sharpening the lefty slice. No cameras. No drama. Just incremental improvement. Because a supercoach is a title that a partner who understands your breaking point, your culture, your pressure, and your long-term vision. That's something else entirely. She's not playing for viral moments. She's building for longevity. 15 years, not 15 months. That long view is rare in modern professional sports. And it's powerful. The next time you see a flashy headline about her rejecting some dream offer, pause. Ask yourself what actually wins championships. Is it optics? Or is it trust? Is it a famous face in the box? Or is it a voice you've heard since you were 13, steady and consistent when the noise gets loud? She doesn't need a celebrity in her corner. She is the celebrity. What she needs is the mechanic who knows exactly how her engine runs, when to push it, when to cool it, when to adjust the smallest bolt without dismantling the entire machine. That's not old-fashioned thinking, that's strategic patience. And in a landscape where impatience has become policy, strategic patience might be the most modern weapon of all.